I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I want to recognize that we have a full board tonight. We do have an addition to the agenda. We put that at E5, which is an overnight stay for the boys wrestling. And that is Saturday, February 14th.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the added addition to E5.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second for approving the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Do we have anybody want to speak on the agenda?
Nobody was signed up.
Okay, starting with routine matters. Minutes of the regular board meeting and Board of Finance meeting, January 12th, 2026. Can I get a motion on the acceptance of those?
I'll make a motion, minutes of the regular meeting and Board of Finance meeting of January 12th, 2026.
Go ahead.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any discussion on the minutes? Any questions or concerns?
Nope.
All in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Vouchers and financial reports. Can I get a motion to accept all of those for last month?
I'll make a motion to accept the vouchers and financial reports.
I'll second.
Motion and second in place. Everybody in favor of accepting the vouchers and financial reports signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, down to communications. We have several donations to look at. So I can read it here. The Benton Central, we have donations to the Auto Department, Industrial Tech, Athletics, BC Cafeteria, CAP, Class of 2027, and to the Student Activity Fund totaling $1,183. And we have one donation to Prairie Crossing, $500 to the backpack program. Audubon, we have about a page and a half of donations, mostly to Student Activity Fund, Camp Tecumseh, Athletics, Library Club, totaling $4,010. It's very generous of people to do all this donating. That's wonderful. Okay, current fundraiser update. You can see we have Senior Student Council, BPA, FFA, Audubon Student Council, and Choir. Current fundraisers. Next on communications, we have Mr. Rob.
Well, thank you very much for having us this month. I think I was just here December. But Mrs. Taylor, I'm going to turn it over to her. She's
Okay,
very excited about it too.
I am. I'd like to introduce three of my amazing students, Isabel Sayer, Tanner Pitstick, and Fred Haas. And they are going to, they have a little presentation, I can see it up there, about what they've been doing in the digital marketing class.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oops, sorry. This is so good.
So what you're holding right now in your hand is a direct product of something that we have accomplished in our class, Digital Marketing at Benton Central. You are holding copies of the Fall and Winter Sports Magazine, entirely comprised by work of me, Tanner, Freddie, and Owen. But before we dive into that, I'm Isabel Sayer.
I'm Fred Haas. I'm Tanner Pitstick.
And we're here to tell you a little bit more about what we do in our class. Is that working? It should. Okay. If not, I can. Do you just tap it?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect, thank you. So just a little bit of an overview. Today we're going to be talking about the Better in Benton videos that we do, the sports magazines that we make, and a few other of the fun things that we also get to do.
So our premier thing we think we do is the Better in Benton videos, which we post About twice a month. So it just covers a lot of things that go around the schools. Benton Central classes and programs like our auto mechanics, Otterden features and clubs, and then some things that go on at Prairie Crossing. We just like to cover a broad area and see like what's going on in each of these schools and what can we highlight, what can we say, and why it's better in Benton. And so these are some of our featured episodes that I think highlight us the most. Being Otterden's Robotics Club, we went in depth with a lot of the students and asked them what they thought they enjoyed about it, and they learned a lot about coding and a lot of things that they want to take into their future. Prairie Crossing's Kindness Train, every week they have Kindness Train, where they go around and the students get very excited about that because they find it's a very good school spirit booster. And then our third one is Benton Central's Auto Mechanics, which highlights a lot of the students that are taking place in that and will improve their careers a lot. And so just working on these videos has helped us three and Owen a lot we've learned a lot how to use Premiere Pro, a lot of the other Adobe things, a lot of the other programs, and it's helped us because a lot of us, I know I'm going into marketing, she's going into journalism and digital marketing, and so this is really helpful and beneficial for our careers.
So right now, I worked especially a lot on these sports magazines. So this wasn't entirely an endeavor by us. It was also co-sponsored by the athletics department by Mr. Hall and Mrs. Carrie Smith. In order to get this done, we had to learn how to use Adobe InDesign, which is the industry standard software to complete this. And we also had to use Photoshop a little bit, as you'll see, to remove backgrounds, put in special text effects, and things of that nature. And the main focus of this was to get better coverage of student athletes and highlight to the community ways that they can support our athletics department. So, as you see here, this is an excerpt from the software from the fall sports magazine. So, first off, something I'd like to highlight is the senior ads. So right here, this was one that was purchased for a soccer senior. These were for sale through the athletics department, and this was given to the parents as a chance to just, hey, I wanted to shout out my senior athlete and just give some small little words of wisdom. We also have all of our senior highlights, so we worked exclusively to get these. We sent out forms, questionnaires, and even interviewed some of our senior student athletes to ask about potential accomplishments, some goals they have for the season, and another thing like if they had any mentor they wanted to thank. So we had to get these pictures and write all of this copy, so that kind of helped us explore our journalism side. And finally, the last thing I'd like to highlight on here is just all the nitty-gritty information. We have a team picture, the roster, the coaches, and the varsity schedule, so anyone who picks this up would know when and where they could support them. And then this is another excerpt from the Winter Sports magazine. And right here, I just wanted to highlight, we did have some special effects, special shout outs. So one of them was our Jen Foster shout out. I made this in an Adobe software, and it's just some pictures she made, and it says that we're just thankful for all of her support of our programs and for her allowing us to use her pictures. And then also over here, something that we also had a lot of involvement in was, these are ads right here from WeChart Realtors and ProSource Auto Sales. So this was also through the athletics department. We sold these ads. We went out sometimes to community partners, Freddie and Tanner did that, and asked if they wanted to support us. So having these ad sales allows us to give these away for no cost. Students don't have to buy them, and it really taught us a lot about how to present ourselves in the best way possible and get community engagement.
And many of these we designed ourselves, as Tanner designed the one from Farmers and Merchants Bank, and we designed a couple like the ProSource and some of the other like the Fowler Family Dentistry.
And so on top of having this classwork, we get a bunch of miscellaneous things that people come to us for. So for the West Lafayette Hoops Arcade, former BC alum and local entrepreneur RJ Gillen came to us needing a video advertisement for his new Hoops Arcade, which is it's like the Papa Shot basketball, but instead it's one you can carry on a trailer, take to parties and all that. And so he sent us a bunch of clips and pictures of his trailer, and we edited them all down, put some music on it, and made him a good advertisement for it. And this helped us with our video editing skills for using Premiere Pro again, going back to all that, and then also community impact of helping someone in our community.
It was very rewarding to just be like, oh, I'm a past BC alum, and I saw you guys making all these things, and I wanted to reach out to see if you could help me. So it was really cool for us to be like, wow, like, we're recognized.
And then Mr. Rob came to us on this one. He saw a thing about a principals promo video contest of a bunch of video design classes, and which us class too. And we made 2 videos. me and Isabel made one right here from our VRBC, and then Freddie and Owen, who's not here, made one about our engineering program. So the VRBC one, we highlighted our school success for all our athletes, and we showed Benton Central as a community and not just a school, and like how we back up our fans and how we back up our athletes.
And then for our engineering one, we highlighted Mr. Whitelock and his program. He's doing wonderful things over there, and we've done they highlighted a lot of the cool things they do, like they're making a blimp this year, I believe, and then they've worked on t-shirt cannons to play at basketball games and at our pep session, so it's just really cool stuff that they're doing.
And then finally, we've also done just some miscellaneous projects here and there. So I worked with Mrs. Fisher to get a video and explanation kind of sort of thing with Katie Ahern for conscious discipline. So when she came to town and was teaching parents and teachers what her program meant, Mrs. Fisher approached me and wanted to make kind of a video so parents would know what to expect when working with her. So I made that for her. Tanner here has also helped to record choir concerts.
Yeah, for this choir concert, all the bad weather we've had, it's really sucks for all that bad weather, and they couldn't go to these competitions that they wanted to go to, so they had me come in with a video camera, and I recorded a choir concert for them so they can send out to these judges and do the contest like they want to do.
So yeah, so we are just available as a resource for any staff or administrator who would need video editing, graphic editing, or anything of that nature. So. Thank you so much for your time. You guys have any questions?
Do you have a because it seems like you, from athletics to academics to even outside, do you each have a favorite content area or genre? Or...
Even though I started kind of in the marketing and journalism at school as like BCTV and doing video editing, I've honestly really found I love doing the athletics magazines. I like doing the layout and just like being able to stick in the ads and make everything flow well. Okay.
I'd say my favorite is doing the Better in Benton videos because we get to go to other schools, we get to interact with all the other principals in the area, we get to interact with the kids, and it's just a fun thing to do.
Yeah, same here. I really enjoy the Better in Benton videos because we get to highlight what is Better in Benton, all the kids just saying how much they love doing all these different things. It's really cool to see because like going back as alum from Prairie Crossing and Sacred Heart and all that, we're seeing like what they get to do that, that they'll love to do in Benton Central. And it's also helped me a lot with my video editing skills as I've learned to do that a lot better.
And I think it's cool people are reaching out to you. Mrs. Fisher, and then we have the alumni there for the hoops. Yeah.
And it's creative with the concert that they can't travel, so you can do that with the technology. That's really cool.
It also helped the parents be able to see it too because they weren't able to go to it because it was during school. So
Yeah, so most of choir's concerts can be during school and when they practice, and most parents, they can't come into the school and see that. So it's also a way for their parents to watch their kids do what they like to do.
That's great.
Yeah.
These are very professional looking.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
I think they're amazing. So
Thank you.
I think things really are better.
Yeah.
Now, this is great work. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And we'll make some more videos before the end of the year, but
Thank you so much.
You
for
do a
your time.
great
Thank
job.
you to
Yeah,
Mrs.
thank
And
you.
for your continued
Yeah.
support. for
So you're
all
saying
that we do.
your ads are paying for the cost of production?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's great.
and your presentation skills are great.
Yeah.
Really, you do a nice job.
Yeah.
we're all on BPA, so it's
All right, it goes back to the
It's
standard.
paying off.
Another shout out, yeah.
And whenever we have guests, you've been a guest before, you are welcome to stay for the meeting, but you are also welcome to walk off into the sunset. No judgment, so.
I do want to say all three of those did outstanding at their regional BPA meeting and will be going to state in March.
Oh, wow.
to represent.
Congratulations.
Where is
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm not surprised.
And one additional thing I do want to add with the sports magazine, I did very, very little besides packaging it, and that's because my computer could package better. But these three and Owen, who happens to be in an IU basketball game right now,
Hey,
decided
boil up, right?
They won't hold it
they
against
did
them.
it all from start to finish, and I couldn't be more proud of that.
That's great.
So, yeah,
Where are these printed?
national.
The National Group in Lafayette.
Okay.
And Isabel called and got quotes and things, and we tried to do local, but they couldn't do what we needed. So, yeah, but they did get their own quotes, their own pricing, and
That's awesome.
Good work.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Proud of
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks a lot for coming.
Yes.
And no problem. Thank you
Yeah.
guys for
Thank
letting
you for
us.
having us.
I can get through the make the price.
I know, wasn't it cool?
The winter ice.
Edie, you have a curriculum update tonight?
Yes, I do. I'll try to keep this short. You guys can read the details if you'd like to.
This mouse is not good.
I think they're coming.
One more?
Oh, they're coming.
No, we're good.
Okay. So, just to
There's
give
two.
you an update. First of all, with our reading program, CKLA, we are right in the midst of our implementation year. Jennifer Fry came last Monday and met with some of us at Prairie Crossing, and she said, you know, there's always an implementation dip. And I was like, oh, we don't want to hear that. But she said, you know, when you bring in a new curriculum or a new program or learning, I mean, if you talk to teachers, they're keeping their heads above water, learning the material and passing it on. And so, you know, we may have, for people who are looking for, oh, you have a new program, everything should be just off the chart immediately. It may not be happening, but we are still continuing to reach out to CKLA and to get support. Jody Kammer, their rep, came. Abby reached out and posted her. And so I have some of her positive observations, things that she was noting. And then in April, we will have a trainer return, and Prairie Crossing teachers will come over to Otterburn for our 2-hour delay in April. And we've set some goals. So they're ready now that they've been doing it to start talking about, you know, how do we really make this work? Looking even to next year with our scope and sequence, if I saw things that, as I'm putting the lessons and units together, how I'm going to make it work for my next year as I'm thinking about planning. So those are all great things. The best news is we have the high quality curricular material, and the professionals that are using it are asking the best questions about writing. They're asking the best questions about timing and pacing, and so those are really great things. The behavior grant, we are still in the midst of working with Conscious Discipline for the Willing and our coach, Katie Aherns. She's doing some virtual calls, coaching calls, and then she's coming back again in person. She'll be at Otterburn March 9th, Prairie Crossing March 10th, and Benton Central March 11th. And her goal this time is to really to get out with teachers and to model. I know at Otterburn, Eva Cassidy, the elementary coordinator, worked with the teachers and really tried to get them to talk about what's your toughest time in the day with your students. Is it lining up to go out to recess? Is it the bathroom break? Is it coming back in after lunch? And then what are some strategies or techniques that Katie can help with? So on that day, she'll actually do it, and they can watch a different way of working with students and behaviors. And so as you can see, the focus there, regulation, we're still working on regulation, the 5 steps, focused attention practices, and wish wells. Also, we're very excited, Dr. Gloria DeSaltis, who is the guru of neuroscience and education. She is coming for in-person visits. She'll be at Otterburn in the morning on March 18th and Benton Central in the afternoon, and then she'll be at Prairie Crossing all day on March 19th. And our focus with her is just reviewing the basics, understanding neuroanatomy to regulate behavior and calm the brain, and how we move forward as neuroscience educators. So if we can get regulation in place, it can have such an impact on learning outcomes. So we're still working on that. Assessments we're right in the thick of it. We're heading into checkpoint 3 with iLearn, and then we will have the summative the end of April. So we're having some good conversations especially conversations with writing. There's no math performance task this year. In the past, they've had this math performance task where the 3rd through 8th graders have to, it'll be a question like, you are forming a garden, you know, you're going to buy things, you're going to plot it out. And so they had to do this performance task in math. Well, they've cut that. So now we're just really focusing on the performance task in ELA, which is read 2 sources. Like one for the 6th graders we were looking at was on the Erie Canal. You read these 2 sources, you have to write a paragraph or 2 where you pull some evidence from the sources, and then you have to write a full essay. Your essay might be narrative, it might be informative, or it might be argumentative. So just getting the kids to look at what the IDOE has put up there, because they have put online what should a 4 look like. You know, what they consider to be the highest rated essay. Is our writing looking like the models? What are the rubrics that they're using? What are they expecting? And so all of our writing teachers, even though we're in the spiral of CKLA, the teachers have said, I'm worried about the iLearn because CKLA isn't asking questions the way that iLearn does. And we know our school grades based on the iLearn. We want our kids to succeed. And we know, just like with the SAT, that students do better if they actually have taken a practice test and they know what it looks like. And so we're doing that similar kind of thing with the iLearn. And then we have the iRead, the high stakes 3rd grade test. This will be the week of March 2nd through the 13th. I did put this on here, and Gail's not in here, but I did that so I could give that to Gail and she could publish it if she wanted to. And our elementary schools will be pushing that out. That's like if you're a parent of a 2nd or 3rd grader and you want to go online to this site and just log in as a guest and see what the questions that are released look like. You know, at first it's like, which word, they'll have the word cat, you know, which of these 4 words ends with the same sound? You know, so parents could actually walk through and see. And then there is a reading one and there's questions about it, but so that we're all, again, familiar with the format that they're going to be using as they are assessing. All juniors take the SAT March 4th. And so then I did add some information here about research shows that if you practice, and I gave the addresses for practicing, and I'm just, not that you want to go there, but I'm just making sure Gail has that so she could publish it in case, so we're also sending it out in Parent Square, so hopefully, not everyone practices. Some of our juniors have already taken it, but everyone has to take it on school day because of the IDOE, because of compliance. So some kids are like, oh, I'm fine with what I have, but and some kids will take it and they don't want to practice a lot because they're busy right now, but they think they'll try to practice more maybe before they take it to senior, you know. So for professional development, we did have our Benton Teacher Collaboration Day today at Audubon and Prairie Crossing. There were staff meetings, grade level teams, cross grade level team meetings, and Hunter Hickman was at Benton Central from Rensselaer. He presented at the Purdue AI conference, and so he was helping us at the high school to learn a little more about getting in front of and understanding AI. Purdue now requires their students to take 4 or 5 AI classes before they can graduate. And so how will we at Benton Central start to use AI and understand AI, because our students are going to be using it. So we're just doing some investigating right now, which is why he came, because at Rensselaer they have adopted Conmigo, which is a program. He said they pay $10 a student and it's in school. So it's not just ChatGPT, it's actually, or even Google Gemini, or Brisk or those other ones, it's actually in-house. So we're learning more about it. Not that we are making any great change, but educators are asking lots of questions. So we thought it would be good to have him come and just share his experience. And then in April, Otterman and Prairie Crossing, as I mentioned before, will have their CKLA presentation, and BC turns back to curriculum alignment in their department meetings. SIOP training is going on. This is the sheltered instruction, which to be compliant, we have to be trained. And so we're currently training 4 teachers at Prairie Crossing, and then next year the plan is 4 in the fall and 4 in the spring. And we also will pick up next year at Benton Central new teachers that haven't had the SIOP training, which is, it is the best proven research-based and validated instructional model that's best for ML students, but it's really all about language acquisition, which is good for all of our students because we all come from places that no one's using all the words or reading all the books. So any language acquisition can help us as we get ready to take the SAT, right? So thank you very much. If you have any questions.
On that, last item, the sheltered instruction, is Arvin not participating in that, or?
Not yet. Mhm. We, at Benton Central, Kim Fitch trained all of our teachers in an after-school program 2 years ago. And then every year when we write the ML grant, we have to talk about how we are working toward, and so we turned up then our attention to Prairie Crossing because the ML population is larger. There are 3 ML students at Otterman right now. So will they be trained? Will there be training at Otterman? Yes. Because we want them to have the same kind of language acquisition training, and we don't know. We're hoping we have more students.
Yeah.
We never know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Thanks, Eve.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, this is the time of year when we have our annual conflict of interest disclosure statements, so that we need to remind people that they need to do that, get those turned in. C6, we have a project update. with some
Yeah,
pictures.
I just show a few pictures. It's mainly duct work at Otterman Elementary and then the split face exterior masonry at BC, so see if we can see those. And the weather has not been great, but they make do.
Still making progress.
Yep. Just, they say pictures are worth 1,000 words, so there you go. And we still have our every other week meetings, and we have board representation for those. So. Any questions or comments?
Okay, moving on to old business from last meeting. So we have consideration of approval for the resolution for the board compensation. And we have what the state has given us as suggested compensation. So what we need is a motion to either accept the resolution as it's printed now, or after discussion, we can make amendments to that resolution and add or delete as needed to our desire. So we could go ahead and get a motion for that.
Make a motion and then discuss it and then
Discuss
change,
it
or,
and make our
okay,
amendments.
all right, I can go ahead and make a motion to consider approval of the board resolution on compensation.
I'll second.
Okay, so we've got a motion and a second, and we now need to discuss how we feel.
I would feel like, the attendance and the, special meetings, I don't know that that's needed. Personally, just because I think I just signed up to help, but, I mean, that's up to everybody else.
I would agree with that. I mean, it's pretty basic. I mean, sometimes we can make all the meetings, sometimes we can't, and at the end of the day, I mean, I think we should go with the first bullet.
I think too, when you look at like setting the board up, like we're not gonna be on it forever. And I think that it's, you know, good that we kind of set something that's gonna be, like routine. If we're saying we do the 10% of the lowest starting teacher salary, people coming in can figure out what that is. And, I don't know, I think that seems to be the smartest, just for setting future board members up as well.
And is this
So-
setting up
Oh,
to
go ahead.
continue to follow that as they increase the board or not?
Yeah, so I think
necessarily?
what the whole statute was trying to do was not wait for 40 years to change the compensation, and that it was tied to teacher salary, which would automatically update for inflation and for a percentage. So I think they were trying to say, hey, this is what a board can approve, and it could stay in the policies for a long time.
Cause
Yeah, so would we,
like you mentioned, this current rate was initiated in 1983 and
Yes.
hasn't changed since.
And
this
hasn't
is-
changed it. So I think they knew, hey, we haven't even allowed for inflation, cost of living, any of that. So let's tie a percentage to the lowest teacher salary. And this is what the state is allowing.
Yeah, I think an additional, amount for attendance for regular meeting and special meetings is just not necessary. It's something additional to track, and then it's just additional funds that we don't have to, consider that as part of it. I think, there's a lot of work that we looked into what other committees, town councils, neighboring schools like Tri-County just took the same approach and voted that as well. So I think, considering that, it's fair. And like you said, setting up for future possibilities for people who want to, take on this journey.
well, that was my concern, was I agree with what you all were saying, is I didn't want to create work for somebody to have to track what meetings we attended. And when we weren't there, or if you're at half a meeting, or it can get pretty dicey. So I think, from what I'm understanding, if you're wanting to go with the first bullet and just go with the base rate, and if we tie it to a percentage, then it will always follow any future incremental raises that we vote in for the BC staff and administration and teachers and everything, so we'll follow that.
I can go ahead and it sounds like we've all kind of said the same thing in our own little way, so I can go ahead and make a motion for approving the board resolution compensation with the 10% of the lowest starting salary, but getting rid of the other board meeting per diem.
The per diem charges,
yeah.
yes.
I'll second that.
Okay. Thank you. So we have a motion and a second to accept the 10% base for the starting teacher salary of the corporation, and not accepting the maximum rate of attendance per board meeting, or the maximum rate of attendance for executive sessions, committee meetings, work sessions, etc., which essentially could amount to $2,000 to $5,000 per person. So we are initiating a savings as well as initiating this compensation. All in favor of this compensation package?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We did it. Moving on to new business. Consider staff report and other personnel items. You have a motion to accept our staff report.
I'll make a motion to consider staff report and other personal items, consider normal staff report items.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there discussion, questions?
No, I had a question about one of the ECA, but it was clarified because it's not effective till next year. So thank you for clarifying that.
One question I had was, how many permanent subs are we utilizing now? I've seen them come and go and I've not really kept track.
We should have two at BC or one at each.
There's one at each.
One at each
One at
school.
each.
so
So they are they building specific or do they
Correct.
bounce around?
No, they're
Yeah,
They stay
building
right
specific.
there.
And that building has the ability to put them where they need to during the day.
Sometimes they have transitioned into a different position that leaves that position open. That's why there's a new permanent sub, because that current permanent sub went to some other position that was open
Okay, I
within
see
the
what you're
Yeah, so they probably switch positions.
Just curious.
Some turnover, yeah.
Okay, all in favor to consider the staff report and other personnel items, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Consider approval of contract between Benton Community School Corporation and Jeff Deller Public Relations LLC. Can I get a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to consider approval of contract between BCSC and Jeff Dollar Public Relations.
I'll second.
Sorry.
I seconded it.
Okay, a motion and a second. Discussion, any questions or discussion about that?
We talked about it last.
Yeah, we did have a little bit of conversation about it, you know, he was the one that worked with us in the last referendum, seemed to do a good job. The one question I had, looking at the contract, every time we met, of course, it was right in the middle of COVID, everything was virtual. So I had, where does he come from? Because I saw a thing
He's in
that,
Minnesota, but he, upon agreement, he wants to come and meet the board.
okay,
And remember, our work here in the beginning will be just for positive promotions for the school corporation. So the referendum is kind of out there potentially, but I think right now we just want to make sure we promote and that the community understands all of the things going on.
Good.
So,
gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's important that they know, what was that money used for?
Mhm.
Where did it go? Why did we need it?
right.
So
And he's gonna want to hear from you on what do you want him to promote. Yeah.
Any other discussion? All in favor of approving the contract between BCSC and Jeff Deller Public Relations LLC, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Consider approval, item E3, consider approval of memorandum of understanding between Career Plus Pathways by SkyPack Incorporated and Benton Community School Corporation.
I'll make a motion to consider the approval of the memorandum of understanding between Career Pathways by SkyPack Incorporation and Benton.
I'll second.
On motion in a second, any questions or concerns about this, discussion?
I'll just indicate that this is at no cost to us and the grant went through Wabash Valley, but they are gonna send people out to help our counselors who will then in turn help our students on that whole career path. Yeah.
It's good service for them to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all in favor of considering the approval of the memorandum of understanding between Career Plus Pathways by SkyPack Incorporated and BCSC, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So moved. E4, consider approval of the 26-27 preschool handbook.
I'll make a motion to consider approval of the 2026-2027 preschool handbook.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or discussion about the handbook?
Not much changes.
Kind of just reflected our changes that we've had with the 2-hour delay days added in, it looks like.
And you said that this is the timing she likes to do this to prepare for the following year.
Because they're getting ready to do enrollment or.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, open up their windows.
I'm grandfathered in. No more, Tracy, no more.
Are you sure?
All in favor of approval of the 26-27 preschool handbook, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Thank you. So moved. We added E5, boys wrestling overnight stay for semi-state to East Chicago. They are spending one night before the actual semi-state event. I get a motion for that, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the overnight for the boys wrestling, prior to the state finals on, Saturday, February 14th.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, all in favor of accepting boys wrestling overnight stay before the semi-state in East Chicago on February 14th, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So moved. We are down to public comments. Is there any other comment signees?
There was
for the
none.
Non-agenda items, okay. Board comments, superintendent comments, questions? Pretty good at the calls,
I don't have any.
Good to go.
short and sweet.
Nothing to that.
Okay, we are adjourned.